Good morning, students. Welcome to the class on rearrangements. Today we will discuss Favorsky rearrangement. What is Favorsky rearrangement? Conversion of alpha haloketones to carboxylic acids via a three-membered cyclopropanone is called as Favorsky rearrangement. If it is a cyclic alpha haloketone, then we will observe ring contraction. Generally, this conversion will occur in basic conditions. Now, we will look at the mechanism when we treat a carbonyl with a base. Alpha hydrogen, of course, they are acidic hydrogen, so alpha hydrogen can be easily picked up by the base. So what we are having, we are generating a negative charge at the alpha carbon. Then this negative charge nucleophile will undergo nucleophilic substitution. Generally it is an SN2 reaction. So that halide will be leaving because all halogens are good leaving groups. So we are generating 1, 2, 3 three-membered cyclopropanone ring. We are generating a three-membered cyclopropanone ring. So alpha haloketones, when treated with a base, they'll be converted to carboxylic acids through a cyclopropanone intermediate. Now, again, one more molecule of base will attack on the carbonyl so that this double bond will be polarized towards oxygen. So we have O minus, OH and this. Then again this negative charge on oxygen will be polarized back to generate the carbon oxygen double bond. So we are having a carboxylic acid. Then one of the bond in this three-membered ring will break down. Generally either this bond or this bond. Remember, the bond breaking will always lead to generate a more stable carbanion. It must lead to a more stable carbanion. So when I break this bond, of course, it is a symmetrical symmetrical carbons both sides. So any one side, it is not a problem. So I am generating negative charge here, and this is OH. As I said in the previous class, carboxylic acids are more acidic. So a proton can be easily transferred to this negative charge. O minus, and we have H here. So finally, when we add dilute acid to the system to quench the reaction, then we will get carboxylic acid. Okay, so this is what is called Favorsky rearrangement. Always remember that the carbanion formed after breaking three-membered cyclopropanone ring must be a stable carbanion. Now I will give you some practice problems. With cyclic alpha haloketones, what we generally observe in a Favorsky rearrangement is a ring contraction. Okay. In this example, we need to specify the position of deuterium. These are all just for practice. I'll give you some more practice problems. When this molecule is treated with a base, it will undergo Favorsky rearrangement to generate this bond so that it generates cubane structure. Similarly, when this compound two 5-membered rings, one below the other, and then required connectivities. This is the first 5-membered ring, this is the backside 5-membered ring, and then connectivities. Now, if we have this structure, then when it is treated with the base at 100 degrees centigrade, then we will have bond formation between these two carbons, similarly on the backside carbon. So what we are getting is again a cubane with the dicarboxylic acids. Because we have two such alpha halocarbonyl groups, we are generating two carboxylic acids. The variations in Favorsky rearrangement are when we treat this alpha haloketone with a base, hydroxide base, what we will have is, if it is a cyclic system, we will have ring contraction and carboxylic acid. Instead of hydroxide base, if we use some alkoxide base like ethoxide or methoxide, what we will get is an ester. What we will get is an ester. Okay, it is an ethoxide base. Instead of alkoxides or hydroxides, if we use an amide, sodamide, when we use an amide, what we will get is an amide. What we will get is an amide. So these are the three variations. Carboxylic acid when we use an hydroxide base, ester if we use an alkoxide base, and amides when we use an amide. NH2 minus is called amide. This functional group is also called as an amide. Okay, so if it is sodium, sodamide. Right. Another variation is that instead of a halogen, we can have an alpha epoxide. Of course, epoxide rings are unstable, so they can be easily opened, right? So when we treat this fellow with sodium hydroxide, then what happens? This is alpha position. So from this position, hydrogen will be removed. So negative charge will be generated here. Negative charge will be generated here, so that will undergo an SN2 reaction with this carbon. Epoxide opening will take place. Epoxide opening will take place. So this, upon further reaction with sodium hydroxide, will undergo ring breakage, where it should undergo a ring break. Okay, see, if it breaks here, if it generates a negative charge, it is a secondary carbanion. If it generates a negative charge, it is a tertiary carbanion. Which is more stable? Secondary carbanion is more stable. So the secondary carbanion is more stable compared to tertiary carbanion. So the ring breaking will occur on this side. This negative charge which is generated here will be protonated. So the product is this one. Now the same molecule, if it is treated with alkoxide base, when it is treated with alkoxide base, we do get the same product, but here we get an ester. We get an ester, but see, we have an alcohol in the molecule itself. So what it will have is cross esterification, intramolecular cross esterification. Intermolecular, it may be a difficult task, but intramolecular, it is very, very easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the ring size is also very much favored. 5 and 6 member ring formations are easy. So we can observe an intramolecular cross esterification reaction. So the product is this one.